morning, everyone. It's so good to see you all here today. Today we're continuing our talk about love. But we're not just talking about love, we're talking about loving our enemies. In Matthew chapter 5, Jesus talks to the people about loving our enemies. And when he was talking to the people, he was talking initially about Rome. Rome was a country that took over Israel, and they made them pay taxes, and they were mean to them, and they bullied them. They took their land. They even said, you have to worship Caesar as God. And so what would you do? Would you fight back? Would you have a stick in the back of your stagecoach? And when you saw a Roman soldier, would you try to bonk him on the head? Well, Jesus actually gave 3 illustrations, and they break down into these 3 topics. First, we are to love others, love our enemies with our strength. He said, when someone hits you on the cheek, that you should turn and let him hit the other cheek. Now you're saying, how is that love? How can that be? I remember when I was in school, there was a boy in our class, his name was Clay, and he said something that wasn't very nice to a girl named Shannon. And she got mad and she turned around and she slapped him in the face. Bam! What was he going to do? Because he deserved it. And what was funny is he went like this and she slapped him on his other cheek. And then he went like this and she slapped him like 3 or 4 times, but not really hard. And then everybody started laughing. And the amazing thing is that then they were really good friends and he was sorry for what he had said. Now, I'm not saying you should slap other people, but the point is, love turned away what could have continued to escalate a problem. He wasn't right, she wasn't right, but love starts with your strength, and then it moves to your stuff. Jesus said if someone sues you and they want to take your shirt, give them your cloak also. Well, your cloak is kind of important because that was like your sleeping bag when you went places and so forth. And he's saying, it's so easy when there's someone that we don't love, someone we consider an enemy, and rather than just walking away or ignoring them, how can we invest in them and give them stuff? I don't know, but that's how we can love our enemies. And finally, to love them with our service. There was another illustration where a Roman soldier could be marching down a trail and he could look around and look for someone, a boy, and say, you there, you carry my pack. And a boy would have to say, oh, I have to carry your pack. Oh, man. Well, the boy could either run away and if he got caught, he'd be beaten, possibly put in jail. Things would not go well for him. Or he could carry the Romans' pack. And imagine carrying this pack down a trail for a mile. How terrible that would be because you're being forced to do it. Well, the interesting thing is that at the end of the mile, if the boy were to say, sir, you asked me to carry it 1 mile, I will go ahead and carry it 2. What's the Roman soldier going to say? Is he going to say, fine, get in line? He's probably going to want to know why. Why would you want to carry my pack after I forced you to do it 1 mile, a 2nd mile? And that's where ministry happens. Enemies are people that you're not willing to forgive. And when you're not willing to forgive, it just makes things worse and worse. And it doesn't really solve anything. But when you're ready to forgive and make a difference, use your strength, use your stuff, and use your service. All right, everybody, take your nose, point it right up to the front, and wait until you hear what's coming next in Jesus' challenge to love your enemies. Cheeseburgers! No, freeze. You're totally supposed to be frozen. Great.